and wanted to do a quick product review for you of this Caldwell Lead Sled. I've been debating on which one to go with. There's multiple different models. There's one at Walmart that I saw. It's called the Lead Sled Solo. It's the same name as this one, but it's slightly different. It doesn't have these front adjustable feet. That one ran about $65. This one, the one that I picked up, ran anywhere from $75 to $100 depending on where you were looking. So definitely encourage you to research on the pricing part of it. Then you can upgrade to the standard, what I would call the standard lead sled. That's going to be the Lead Sled 3. That's going to be a little bit different, kind of the bar going down the middle, kind of your more standard looking lead sled, I guess you will. And then the highest model that I saw from Caldwell was their DFT2. It doesn't have the straight bar across the middle. It's kind of got a split bar with some pads. Got a lot of other adjustments, but it also runs about $220. The Lead Sled 3 ran about $140-ish depending on where you were looking. So really anywhere from $65 to $220 trying to figure out what was right for me. And I settled on this one mainly because price point was pretty good. I bought it for right at $75, and it had the adjustments that I needed, and it was going to also allow me to shoot my AR or anything with a pistol grip, given that it doesn't have that bar in the middle. The one running across the middle I've used in the past and found it to be kind of awkward using some other weapons on here. So with this one, the features, it really has all the adjustments that you're really going to need, for someone that's not out shooting every single day. But with this, it's got nice little pads at the bottom here on these front ones. The one thing I would probably do is maybe glue these in on the bottoms here, because you can see there's these little pads that when I was at the range the first time with it, one of them popped off, so you can just pull them off. So I'd probably try and find a way to adhere those on just to make sure they don't fall off. You're not scratching everything up when you're shooting. But on these front adjustments, you just spin this top one. You can adjust it up or down and screw that back down, and it locks it in. On where your gun's actually going to rest, you do the same thing. You loosen this bottom one up a little bit, and then you can make your adjustments up or down spinning this, and then just lock it right back in place, and it's going to sit there and be very stout. You've also got this option where you've got to load this little spring up in the back here, which took me quite a bit of effort to try and get that in, but putting it together was pretty simple overall. Just a few bolts you took apart, put back in, and the hardest part was getting that spring in there. But again, same thing here. You've got this ability to adjust. So once you get your weapon in, you can move it, up and down by just using this, and that actually comes in pretty handy with trying to set some stuff up at the range, doing some fairly quick adjustments if you're not necessarily on level ground, if you're making some moves here and there. So next thing I want to do is just kind of show you how a few of the items will rest in here and how they'll sit in. First is going to be my 243 that I will be taking out to a range. Just put a new Mueller scope on there, and so again, you can get that thing to rest right in there, and depending on what you're using, you may or may not be able to use this strap that comes with it. But with this, you can take it, you just Velcro it down, flip it through, and tighten it down. So the nice thing there, when you're doing that, is that it does really help kind of keep the gun in place, limit some of the jumping around and different movement that you're going to get with it. So haven't used it on the rifle yet, but again, it sits very comfortably in the rest, and it should work pretty good. I'll try and take it out here maybe tomorrow or next weekend. So with rifles, very easy for that to sit in there. The Velcro strap is, again, kind of new to me. I've never used it on one, but when I took it out to the range the other day, what I was doing was I was actually sighting in my turkey gun, coming up here for springs approaching pretty quickly, and you can see I've put a modified stock on here that makes it easier for me out in the turkey woods to kind of control the gun and shoot. Anybody that's shot 3.5 inch 12 gauge shells knows that these things pack a pretty good punch. And again, as you can see, nothing in the chamber. But when I set this in here, it actually rested in there, pretty nicely. I don't have to worry about it hitting anything right in here. And when I was at the range, I didn't buy one of the bags just yet, the weight bags. But what I did do was looking in my house, trying to see what I had. I had just this, rubber-backed dumbbell, and it actually fit in there perfectly. Added the weight, didn't interfere with the stock of my gun here, and I shot about 20 rounds at the range, trying to use different chokes and different turkey loads, which I'll be putting a video out for that too. And I will be honest, I was extremely impressed with the way this lead sled performed. No major bruising or anything like that. I walked away from it hardly feeling anything from taking this out. Having this strap up front definitely kept the gun from jumping around a lot. When I've done this in the past, I really get a lot of jumping around when this is absorbing all that concussion, but it worked very well with this, so I was very impressed taking it out for the first time. And again, one of the major reasons I went to this model is because of using my AR. And again, you can see nothing in the chamber. And what I would do is get a couple of those bags to use when I go to use my AR, because when it sits in there, it does sit a little bit lower, so you want to have something that's got a pretty low profile in there. And again, not going to be interfering with your pistol grip up here. I actually went and grabbed just one of the 30-round clips that I've got sitting around. Again, not loaded. Lock that in, nothing in the chamber, and setting it on there. Again, same thing. It's not going to interfere if you want to use your bigger clips. Not having that bar across the middle really helps eliminate some of that issues I had in the past trying to sight in on one of these lead sleds with the model that would be like the Lead Sled 3 that had the bar going across the middle. So I found this to be a very serviceable sled. Absorbs a lot of the concussion. I imagine you can go to the range and shoot absolutely all day with it and not have any issues. The only piece of advice I'd have is, again, trying to put this together with that spring it was a little bit challenging. It'd probably be easier with two people to help kind of hold it in place while you're putting the screws in. But again, I was able to do it, put this thing together in less than 10 minutes, probably closer to 5 minutes, had it all put together straight out of the box. But again, lead sled solo, make sure you're looking for the front adjustments. The one that's a little bit cheaper doesn't have these front adjustments up here, so I definitely recommend the one that has those. Just taking a look at these rubber stoppers, find a way to secure those on a little bit better. I did have one fall off while I was shooting at the range. So again, overall, I'm very impressed with this lead sled. Purchase has been good for me. I don't go out and shoot every day, but a handful of times a year I do go shoot and sight in guns, so this should come in pretty handy. Hope this helps. Thanks.